Man Designs. It's not a company, but an idea. Companies die, ideas live forever. The idea is to evoke emotion. If we make you feel love, hate, or anything in between, then our job is done.
Got problems, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got issues, I know. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yo, it's your boy T45 back in the building, man. Third episode. Can you believe it? It's the new kid in the vlog. And I'm just as excited as I was when we did our first episode. The feedback has been really great. I'd like to thank the guys that contributed to, the numbers in terms of pushing it, letting your friends know, watching, subscribing. Do not forget to subscribe to Man Designs and watch New Kid on the Vlog. Third episode, baby. Let's get straight into it. Right. So one of the things that stood out for me this past couple of days or weeks, right? I will remind you that today is actually the 1st of September, which means we've just finished the month of August. And for me, it is so significant that we should still speak about women, even though Women's Month is done and dusted. And one of the reasons I actually want to entertain that topic or that idea is for one simple reason. In fact, I read on Sunday Times quite recently that every single day in South Africa, there are about 24 women that are either killed or held hostage by their husband. And in a lot of instances, it leads to subsequent death. And I said to myself, wowzers, are we going to forget the fact that women are still going through this, whether it is Women's Month or not? And I said, you know what, man, just to attach a bit more significance to this whole rhetoric of Women's Month and the protection of women, I'm going to do it on the 1st of September just to show you guys that it doesn't matter what time of the month it is or which month it is, we will still speak about women. Because there's a comedian that I like very much, his name is Michael Che, and he says, when he speaks about the whole phenomenon of Black Lives Matter and, correlating it to a story about how some gorilla got shot and people were rallying behind gorillas, and he said, well, I'll give a crap about gorillas the day I see a gorilla holding up a sign that says Black Lives Matter. Because just like women or Women's Month, if all the gorillas in the world were to just magically disappear in some weird gorilla rapture, how long would it take you to realize that all the gorillas in the world are gone? Food for thought, right? Exactly. So no one cares about gorillas, but in the same breath, or in me contextualizing this idea and making it about women and Women's Month, if the media isn't pushing this, women are getting killed, are you constantly thinking about it? And that's what made me kind of, want to speak about this. Right, enough about the sad stuff. What's even more, it's not sad, it's disgusting if anything, is the fact that the spokesperson for the MEC of transport, I'll just check out his name just to make sure that I got my facts straight. His name is Ntombokolo Makaba Somdaka. And she is the spokesperson for the Transport and Public Works MEC Bonginkosi Matikizela. When looking at the twins that are on Idols currently, writes about them on Twitter and says they're ugly. They're ugly. What? Who says that? And I mean, the image that they portray, if you look at even the feedback that they get from the judges on Idols, is to say that you guys personify this authentic African idol look and we've never come across it. And you guys are so, you're natural in your presentation of your music as well as your appearance, and you're something that has never hit an Idol stage. And someone who is such a high-ranking person in society turns around and says they're ugly. And these are the same people when they sit in meetings and they want to drive the rhetoric of a new African, participating and getting the opportunity to realize themselves, self-actualization, and they speak about, you know, how African women should express themselves without the fear of being marginalized, and they turn around and say people who look authentically African are ugly. There's a bit of a distortion there, and I think you know, if it's not the ANC, something must happen about such. You know, you cannot carelessly display such commentary, especially being such a high-ranking political officer as well as a person in society. But yeah, man, that has been the first part of the show. Who's saying what?
Got problems, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yes, we are back live, bringing you the best of what it is to be on New Kid in the Vlog. Yeah, man, this is the second segment of the show, right? And amongst the many things that have been happening in South Africa, you know, let alone the deaths of people that are connected to, you know, the CR17 campaign, which for me has been weird, which we will definitely entertain in our next episode. Steve Harvey's in the country, man. Steve mother dude Harvey. And Steve Harvey's not just in the country, but he's here to actually spend some time. One of the people that actually got the privilege of interviewing Steve Harvey, I know Mo Flavor got an interview, Metro FM, I know 94.7 DJ Fresh got an interview, Tano Tabudi 5FM got an interview with Steve Harvey. Congrats, guys. The reason that he's in the country, though, is because he wants to start a production, right, of Family Feud. That's just one of the reasons. I don't know everything. I don't know his intentions. I don't know whether he wants to go to Summit or Royal Hotel. I don't know. But I know that Steve Harvey wants to start a production in the country, right? So he wants to bring Family Feud, which is a very popular show currently in America. And what it basically is a game show where families go head to head and, you know, answer trivial questions, you know, general knowledge and all of that. It's pretty cool. And I love it, I must say. I've followed it even before I've known that it's actually coming to the country. But my biggest concern is this. One, this platform, which is New Kid in the Vlog. Again, don't forget to subscribe to Man Designs and like New Kid in the Vlog. This platform, which is New Kid in the Vlog, is one that is born out of a total disregard to gatekeeping, a total zap sign, if anything, to the idea of gatekeeping. And my heart sank when I realized that, you know, Steve Harvey's bringing something new to South Africa, and he might just find himself having only one point of reference, which is the people that are actually responsible for gatekeeping in the industry. So I wouldn't be surprised if in terms of production, you'd still find the same people, right, who, you know, we'd recycle faces for the sake of having this Steve Harvey project happen, because he has no other point of reference except for the people who have been closing other people out in the media in South Africa and keeping themselves in, right? And for me, it's nothing new. It is absolutely nothing new. Steve Harvey's bringing a show new to South Africa, where South Africans are very much capable of having those ideas themselves. But because of the idea of gatekeeping, we, for an example, have a show currently, which is, when it comes to ratings, is killing it. It's killing it, right? We are Jola 99. The production is not that great. The picture below, you know, quality is below average quality. But it's something that appeals to South Africans. It's what excites them. It's what they want to see. And I'm pretty sure, in the back of my mind, I know for a fact that someone might have gone to the SABC and said, here's an idea. In fact, if you remember not so long ago, there was an instance where Twitter had this buzz where people were going to be like, there's going to be Cheetah's SA, there's going to be a Cheetah's SA, and nothing happened about it. The appeal was there, but no production house was willing to do that. Now, I'm not really a big fan of the show or such shows, but for me, it just says gatekeepers are out here deciding on some weird roundtable what we should watch and, you know, what content we should consume. And we don't even like the content, right? When last did you even watch SABC? It's crazy. But one thing I do like, however, about Steve Harvey's presence is that he's gonna wake up a lot of South Africans, because one of the things that he said, he didn't say this to DJ Fresh, he didn't say this to Mo Flavor. One would assume that he probably had better interviews with Metro FM as well as 947. He said to Tando Tabuti, who's a young talent, might not be all that recent when it comes to the radio space, but he is pretty more recent than, your DJ Fresh and the likes. And he said, I had my best interview with you guys, Tando Tabuti, right? So it should be a wake-up call to all gatekeepers. And how do I forget how he said this? He said, if you're trying to put yourself in line for a job and someone does not take you purely based on talent, then that person is losing out on you. And regardless of whether or not they can find someone cheaper to assume that space, they're still losing out on you as a talent. So I found it very profound that Steve Harvey was more, relaxed and having more fun in the presence of someone who's not a mogul of South African radio, someone who still has a lot of time to grow in the South African radio space. And Chili M on his interview with Mac G said, I might respect the guys, but when it comes to the likes of Mo Flavor and DJ Fresh, I don't respect how DJ Fresh has been in the game for so long doing the same thing. It says nothing about our ability to recruit more talent into the space. And Mo Flavor is not a radio person. He even extends and he goes on, guys, we're going to be impartial and we're going to speak without reservation. He goes on to say that the fact that you have more Twitter followers, the fact that you have more people following you on Instagram doesn't automatically make you a radio persona or be fitting for a certain, television channel, which is exactly what we've been seeing. It's happening, But nonetheless, there's only so much control we have over those things. And with the little control that we do have, we are out here with Man Designs giving you the best content, baby. In your face. It is episode 3 of New Kid on the Vlog. Yeah.
Got problems, I know. Yeah, I know.
New kid. Yeah, New Kid on the Vlog. This is the last episode, and this part of the show is called Let Your Cash Act. Right, so today we're speaking about something that might have taken some of us through school, something that might have taken us to holiday destinations in December, and that is group economics, or for the lack of better expressions, is Stokvels. But not this latter-day Stokvels where people's monies are getting chowed. Where it's a pyramid scheme. Where you have to recruit. We're talking about Stokvels where people contribute money and after a certain amount of time, you split amongst yourself. So I've recently participated in one, and I'm one who wants to always see things advancing. Our parents did it and they split the money, right? Primarily because maybe they didn't have any, lucrative investment options. But we live in an era of exposure where we are privy to so much and we see so much happening in front of us. So I would like to appeal and dedicate this episode more especially to the youth. One, if you're planning to buy a house in Johannesburg or in the Gauteng region, you would know it's not as easy as buying a house in Limpopo or KwaZulu-Natal or the Eastern Cape, which is where, quite a lot of us come from. I actually found this out when my mom told me, hey, Tepang, and I said, hey, because you own one, come and try and buy a house here in Gauteng. You will see flames, you see. And it took me back to a time where my gran, for some odd reason, just always had enough to contribute to family events, always had enough to, patch up where my mom couldn't. And she was a very, very high-ranking participant in one of the respected Stokvels of Ekaslam back in the day where she lived in Tanzania in U17. Shout out to Tanzania! Yeah, and I thought about this and I said, why is it that we don't do the same? I'm part of a Stokvel right now, but where's the money going to go at the end of the day? What's going to happen to the money? you want to split it, because if you're asking me to save $1,000 a month over 12 months, it's a waste of my time, right? I could save that myself. You're giving me the same amount of money I could have had. So here are a few ways. One, not very much encouraged by legal platforms, and the other one pretty much very cool, which is something me and that other person that I will tell you about as the podcast goes, we put money together, and we managed to acquire a motorbike, and the motorbike makes money, and we don't stop contributing. And I'm trying to think of how it would gain so much more traction if it was a group of people, for an example, putting motorbikes in Uber Eats, Mr. Delivery. If you've got 10 people over 1 month, because a motorbike will cost you anything between 12 to about 18K, you put one motorbike in Mr. Delivery, take a lot. That motorbike is yielding in, a few dividends. You're still contributing money. Second month, you take the money that belongs to the profits from the motorbike. You add your, another share from your Stokvel, and you've got a second motorbike and the contributions from the guys in the Stokvel. You've got a third motorbike, and I mean, you can grow your money exponentially if you make good use of your Stokvel money. Because if you look at Uber, as well as Mr. Delivery and Take A Lot, those are platforms where the business model has already been put together for you. So you don't have to break your back trying to be creative with the business idea. It's there. People have the app. People have already subscribed to the app, and they will request. People will buy food off Mr. Delivery. People will get their goods delivered through Take A Lot. So you've got something that works. It's food for thought. We're headed towards the end of the year. It's September, 1st of September. So, think about it. You've got bonuses coming up. You've got people that are your friends who are work colleagues that you can see you could do with an extra rand or two. Have these conversations, because what good is it to constantly have a conversation of, let's rock up at Taboo, bro. Let's go to Onyx, bro. Let's go to Sumo. Let's, go to Kantari. When you aren't having the conversation of, let's make money. Let's sustain ourselves. Let's have, a self-sustaining business idea, which brings us to the end of that slot, which is let your cash act. But before we close the show, guys, I would like to really extend, a gesture of gratitude to people who contributed to our numbers. For us, it is quite a lot. I know Man Designs, Manilisi, Dabata, who's behind the production, we appreciate the numbers that we're getting. We appreciate the feedback that we've been getting. Some people will give you feedback, and you can even sense that there's a certain taint of jealousy that I wish I was doing that. Take that feedback as well, because those are the ones that will contribute more honestly, rather than people who are very close to you that'll just say it's good out of the fear of disappointing you. So we really thank you, and I hope I'm not going to be in trouble for name dropping. Percy Vilakazi, thank you so much for you sent us a voice note, let us know about our setting. I hope it's what you had in mind when you say we should make a few adjustments. And I mean, we're learning, so we're going to definitely make it a point that we improve this set, improve the whole idea of a vlog. I'd like to also thank some random punk who told me that a vlog isn't someone just sitting and speaking. I'm defining it because I'm doing it. The day you get to do it is the day that you can define what a vlog is. And I'd also like to thank Rafilwe Rabatlapeng, who tagged us on a post, and tagged DJ Spoo as well, and DJ Spoo actually responded and then retweeted, man. I'd like to thank all of the guys that have been retweeting. Kutlwano as well, how can I forget Kutlwano Dengan? Thank you so much. Very, very knowledgeable when it comes to industry and branding. Thank you so much for your contributions, and we wish to see you next time on episode 4.